Hi guys, and welcome to the show. And today we're doing another episode of Wristwatch Talk, and today got quite a lot to get through, so I'll dive straight in. Now the first thing I wanted to address was the Seiko movement in the SKX, and if you are aware, those of you who enjoyed the comparative review of the SKX versus the Orient Black Grey Raven, there was quite a lot of discussion about whether or not the Seiko movement was in-house or not. Now I did actually do a lot of digging about afterwards, because I wanted to either confirm, see if I made an error or what exactly the situation was. And I can't really find a definitive answer, and this is regarding the 7S26 movement. A lot of people said it was in-house, and other people didn't. So to clear that up, I still stand by I stand by completely the marks I gave the Orient and the Seiko. Now whether it was in-house or not, the Seiko movement, why the Orient gets just that smidgen higher mark was simply down to the fact that the SKX, I should have specified that particular SKX is the K1 version, which is either made in Malaysia, I believe, one of Seiko's factories overseas. Now I don't doubt Seiko's stringent standards for a second, and I'm very happy. I've had both the J1s and the K1s, the domestic and the international versions, and from my experience I can't really tell any difference in the quality, and that just goes to show how good Seiko are. But why the Orient gets a little bit more respect is that, without a shadow of a doubt, it is an in-house movement on the Orient, and the fact that it was built, well, it was designed, built, put together, all in one factory in northern Japan, and that is, for me, that's an extremely big achievement for a watch of that affordability. And that's why I stand by my marks. Now the Seiko, I don't doubt for a second Seiko's stringent quality standards in their offshore factories, but it just hasn't got that kind of the prestige of saying it was made in Japan, in the very same factory it was designed and conceived, and it's a thing of prestige and respect, I think. So I stand by my marks, and if any of you guys out there can actually pinpoint an article or something where it definitively states that the 7S26 movement is in-house, please let me know. I have had a look around and I couldn't really find that much. Obviously there's a long history on the Seiko movements. Anyway, so I just wanted to kind of address that point, and I did address it in the comments. But none of my videos are perfect, and I'm still learning. I'm learning every day, and so kind of address these things in the comments, and we all learn together, and that's the beauty of sharing this passion. Okay, so I'm gonna answer a few comments and emails. This first one is from Glenn. It goes, hope you're well, I love the videos, so please keep them coming. Thank you very much, Glenn. I hope you can help. I'm looking out for a watch that I can wear on all occasions, i.e. nights out, meals, parties, so on. I was thinking about the Oris Aquas in black. I know you love this watch, but do you think it will be good on all occasions, and also with a suit? Thank you for your time. Best regards, Glenn. Okay, hi Glenn. Thank you very much for your email, first of all. It's funny, you picked a watch that really does kind of suit all of those occasions. A really good choice, and I think the Aqua, especially on a steel bracelet, can suit all of those occasions perfectly. It's a very versatile watch. Now I know that it's not considered good form in the old traditional sense to wear a diving watch with a suit, but you know, it's 2015. Bond was doing it in the 60s, so you know, I think we're way past that kind of rigid etiquette of dress, so dress etiquette or whatever. So I'm going to be doing a video soon about the kind of making a sports watch into a dress watch. I'm going to be doing a video on that very soon. I don't want to say too much because yeah, I don't want to give my ideas away. But anyway, I think the Aqua is a solid choice. I really do. It's you know, it's got the sturdiness for your active. It goes just as well with a suit as with casual attire. It's perfect. I'm trying to think off the top of my head anything else. You could go for a squale. You know, all you have to do is change from a NATO to a nice mesh bracelet or something like that, or a very smart leather bracelet, and it looks quite dressy. You know, it seems to me you've already kind of, you know, got to the conclusion that the Aqua is what you want, and I wholeheartely recommend you go for it. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, thank you, Glenn. Right, next email. Hi there, TGV. First of all, love your videos. They're absolutely amazing. Keep them up. Thank you very much. Now to the question. I really want your opinion. I can't decide what watch I want for my 15-year birthday. I have talked with my parents and they said the maximum is $10,000. Wow. I wish they were my parents. Very lucky. Wow, I wish I could. 15th birthday. Wow. I will use it daily. I'm always wearing a shirt to school, always keeping it classy. I also want it to look good on a yacht. We are on almost all summer when we have a break from school. I want it to look good when swimming. I'm looking at the Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean 42mm. I have a small wrist, so I can't wear a watch that is 44mm or more. It would be awesome if you could take this question answer this question in your next viewer email. And yes, I'm very spoiled. Thanks again for all awesome job you're doing. Best regards, Marcus. And Marcus is in Sweden, so fantastic. I have quite a few viewers in Scandinavian countries. I love Sweden. I've travelled there many times. Absolutely adore it. So anyway, thank you, Marcus. Thank you very much. And you are indeed very lucky. So let's look at the parameters of what you're looking for. You want something that is waterproof, that isn't too big, that costs no more than $10,000, that is sophisticated to be dressed up, but yet can handle the kind of yachting active lifestyle that you seem to have. So, well, first of all, you kind of answered yourself. You know, the Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean sounds perfect. The 42mm for you sounds perfect. If you have the smaller wrist, I always advise going smaller, because the smaller the watch, the bigger it makes you look, and that makes you look more masculine. This trend of bigger watches, I really believe is a passing fad. I don't think. I think watches will. Things are very cyclical. You know, doesn't matter what it is, fashion, music, cinema, there's all, the economy, it's always in a constant cycle. We tend to go in cycles. And I believe that we're going to return to the more sophisticated, smaller sizes soon. So if you go for a 42, that's fine. I wouldn't advise, definitely stay away from anything larger than that. So get a 42 plein air ocean. Obviously, I can't answer this question without recommending the Submariner. The 40mm ceramic version, I think, would be perfect for you. It would handle the lifestyle you described to a T. It will hold its value better than the Omega plein air ocean. In this particular case, I would actually advise the plein air ocean over the Submariner. And this is purely because I think 15-year-olds wearing Rolexes it kind of might send out the wrong kind of impression to some people. I think the plein air ocean is a little bit more low-key, especially if you get the 40mm version. It's a little bit more stealthy. It's not as kind of, you can see a roller from a mile off, and I think people will give you a bit more respect if you have the plein air ocean in it. Then get a Rolex maybe for your 20th. I think that's what I would do. But the other alternative is you could get a Seamaster, for example, a slightly earlier version of Seamaster for much less, and then spend the rest on a couple of beaters or a few mid-range pieces, and then have a collection of 2 or 3 watches within your 10 grand budget. I think that way you will get a lot more enjoyment, and your money will go further. Because I think spending 10 grand on one watch when you're 15 is maybe, I mean, if you got it, why not? Why not? If that's what your parents want to do, that's fantastic. I would tend to go, I would try and get something a little bit more modestly priced, and perhaps save the rest of the money, or put it towards, you're 15, you're so young, the amount of traveling you could do for some of that money, I think would really broaden your horizons. But anyway, would be invaluable. But anyway, so that's what I'd do. I'd go for the plein air ocean, buy a new plein air ocean, try and get it in the smaller sizes. If you don't like that, get a Submariner. And your third choice would be to get a slightly older version of the Seamaster, and then spend the rest on a couple of other pieces, and have a little collection. Maybe you could persuade your parents to buy a smaller collection for that 10 grand, rather than just one watch. That way because you might get bored of the one watch. You might want to be able to have maybe one dress watch, one beta watch for when you're on your boat, and then maybe an everyday Seamaster or something along those lines. So really exciting. I envy you to be so young, and by the sounds of your email, you sound like a very polite and decent person. So I wish you all the best, and thank you very much for your email, and I hope that answered your question. Okay, so next we have a comment from ND. Now, this was left on one of my videos, I forget which one, but ND basically sent me an article from a blog2watch.com, and this is regarding the new James Bond watch that's going to be featured in the Spectre movie, and it's an Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra 15007. Now, I'll just read you what ND wrote. Actually, I'll talk about the Aqua Terra first. It's a really interesting watch, and those of you who might remember, I did a video back when the the people behind the Bond franchise were making the announcement of the new Spectre title. They unveiled the new Aston Martin, and there was a kind of a Q&A with some of the cast and the director Sam Mendes, and I'm very, very excited about it because there's a few people I really like. Christoph Waltz, for example, who I think is a terrific actor. Monica Bellucci. In that video I was discussing the kind of what I really liked about the franchise and where it was going, and how in Skyfall there was a return to James Bond's kind of gentry roots, his kind of landed gentry roots, and I really liked that, and a lot of you agreed with me, and I still completely stand by everything I said in that video, because it's true. And from that, it's almost as if Omega have been watching the channel and taking notes, because they've applied this thinking to this new Aqua Terra watch. I'll try and leave, maybe if I put a picture of it up here, if I get out of the way, I'll put the picture here. So as you can see, what they've done, they've incorporated some of the Bond family heraldry from their crest into the dial design of the watch, and I think that's fantastic. Now we'll discuss the actual watch in a moment, but the idea of doing that I think is really cool. I think it's fantastic, and it's much better than, I don't know if you saw, but in some of the past special edition Seamasters they had the 007 kind of embossed into the dial, and I thought it was a little bit cheesy, but this I think definitely kind of works, because it brings a slight kind of, it's a more refined kind of nod to that gentry roots that I was talking about. Now Andy commented, he said, honestly I like it, but here's the problem. I believe he should be wearing a Rolex. The theme and look of this new watch is trying to portray the original Bond message, which is something that I've been talking about. But you can only accomplish this by giving him a 39mm Explorer 1, Rolex Explorer 1. This watch being Ian's very own watch, the writer, and the actual watch Fleming wrote Bond. He actually wrote the Bond books while wearing this watch. I like Omega, I just don't like that they force Bond into their watches. Now I can totally understand that. However, I believe it was Rolex's decision to remove their association with the franchise, and you know, I don't exactly know what happened there, but all I do know is that for whatever reason Rolex stopped endorsing the franchise and Omega came in, and that's a whole nother discussion. But what I want to discuss here is that there is an element of truth to that. I think I think Bond really, at the end of the day, Sean Connery was a Rolex man, okay? That swagger, that slightly arrogant swagger, that confidence, that kind of lovable cad. But just like the Bonds change, the watches change, and I think actually Omega suits Daniel Craig's character more. He's more of he's not as arrogant and cocky. Well, he is a bit, but he hasn't got that kind of lovable rogue caddishness that that Connery had. So I kind of like the Omega with the franchise. To me, it works with Daniel Craig. I mean, this particular watch I think is great for the collectors and for the Bond enthusiasts and that, but I think the actual character in the film wearing an Aqua Terra is to me, I will always associate. It's a little bit too dressy for the rough and tough. You know, I think the Planet Ocean was a really good watch cast for his character in the last few films. I think a diver watch. To be honest, I think Bond is more of a diver watch kind of a guy. I think the Aqua Terra is a little bit too. Obviously, it's a Seamaster, but I think it's a little bit too dressy in my opinion. Dive watches have that connotation of adventure, of masculinity, of ruggedness, of being versatile. You know, you know, a good diving watch like this one, for example, looks good with smart attire or casual. So you know, and I think dress watches, when you're doing rough and you know, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't. But I do like what they did with the dial. I think it's fitting, and it goes with what I was saying in the early vid about the return to his kind of gentry roots. So you know, it's definitely interesting, and I would really like to hear what you guys think of it. Okay, so thank you, ND, for that. This ties in really with the last point I wanted to address, which was a lot of you have been enjoying the dual watch videos, comparative reviews. We've had what in my opinion is the two best mid-range pieces, this and the Oris, go head to head. We've had the battle for the best entry-level diver, which of course was the SKX and the Orient Black Ray. And it's inevitable that we should have the luxury diver duel. So, which begs the question, which Seamaster is going to go up against my Rolex Submariner ceramic? And I have been thinking about doing this video of Seamaster versus Submariner for months. The problem is unlike the SKX or the Aquas or the Squale 500 or the Orient Ray, or basically all the watches that have taken part so far, the model range is quite small. For example, the SKX, you've got the SKX 009, which is the Pepsi, and then you've got the 07, which is the black dial and bezel, and then you have the SKX 013, which is a black but slightly small, I believe, at 36mm rather than the 38mm, sorry. So you know, they're pretty much, they all have the same movement, subtle changes on the outside, but at the end of the day, they're pretty much the same watch. You know, if you compare a ceramic sub, you're going to have quite a different result to comparing a sub from the early 90s, for example. And then, so we got that predicament. The second thing is the Seamaster. The Seamaster is probably the most, it's such a huge range of models with such dramatic differences. I mean, the pre-Bond, the 300s, and then you got the you know, then we've got the vintage Seamasters. We have the Bond Seamasters from the 90s. Then we have the ceramic. Then we have the Planet Ocean, of course, and it's still Seamaster Planet Ocean. So is that considered a Seamaster? You know, it gets a bit confusing. I'm not exactly sure which Seamaster should go up against which Submariner, because they're so different. You know, and then there's Seamaster chronographs, and then there's Seamaster GMTs, and you know, the list is pretty long. And last of all, I don't currently own a Seamaster, even though out of all the watches I've ever owned, the Seamaster is probably the one watch that I've owned the most of. I've owned the quartz, I've owned the coaxial, I've owned the chronograph, I had the mid-size one, I had the standard Bond 300, so I've had quite a few. So I know the watch very, very well, but I'm not going to do a review of a watch that I don't have in person. So I've got to somehow kind of track down a Seamaster that will be, I think will be fitting to compare to the Submariner. It's equal in the range. So I really want to hear what you guys think. Which Submariner, which Seamaster should I compare? And also, if you have a Seamaster and you live in New York, I would love to meet and shoot the video and discuss it. You know, because I don't particularly want to buy a Seamaster just to shoot a video. Even though I must admit I have been kind of thinking about a Seamaster, but you know, I'm still trying to decide my big next piece, my big next purchase for the year, and I'm still stuck on Speedmasters and Navitimers and the Planet Ocean. So I'm still in that predicament. That hasn't gone away. I'm starting to ramble now. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. But I really want to know what you guys think. You know, has it been done to death, or is it? Should I do the video? Which Seamaster should go up against my Submariner? Please let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, please email me. So I think we'll leave it there for today. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. Videos coming weekdays, Monday to Friday. And thank you very much for watching. Ciao.